Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live and garden here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today I thought I would bring you along and give an update on the north front yard side border, the shrub border that we've been building over here on the north side of our front yard. This is where we put in the Lasagna Garden last fall, and we dealt with that all winter long, and so I wanted to show you how it's looking today and talk about the pros and cons of using the Lasagna Garden method for building a new flower bed. Come with me and let's talk about it. Now you might recall that last fall I decided to create a new flower bed here on the north side of our front lawn. And I decided to use the Lasagna Garden method to create the bed. And so that means that instead of taking out all the sod and bringing in a bunch of new soil to create the new flower bed, I decided to cover it with cardboard and then lay down alternating layers of green and brown material over and over, green and brown, green and brown, green and brown, so that it would compost in place over the winter. Now the Lasagna Garden method works really well for creating new flower beds when you have lots of time. So the idea is that by layering shredded up brown materials with shredded up green materials, brown materials are things like fall leaves or cardboard or shredded paper or wood chips, and then green material being things like leaves that you just took off of like a tree that you had taken down, or grass clippings, or other living plant material that's been cut back recently. And you layer them. Ideally, you chop them up small and fine, and then you layer them brown, green, brown, green, brown, green, until you get to 18 inches deep. And then over time, those materials will interact with each other and decompose, and it'll shrink down. Those 18 inches will shrink down to be about 6 inches deep. So then you have 6 inches of really rich compost material on your new flower bed, and you haven't had to do a lot of work. All you had to do was put away your yard waste right into something that you'll make use of in the future. Sounds like a great idea. So, how did mine do? Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I was the most successful lasagna gardener ever, and here's why. I didn't use a lot of green material, I didn't shred them up very deeply, and I didn't really layer them very much either. I only put about 8 or 9 inches of material at best. Some areas didn't even get that much. So pretty much the whole recipe for how to make a lasagna garden, I kind of flubbed it. I ended up making something like, I don't know, just a hot mess. So my lesson learned is that I don't think I'm going to do lasagna gardens, at least not on this big of a scale. This flower bed is about, I would estimate it's about 60, maybe 70 feet long from here to the street. And in parts of it, it's like 20 feet wide, and other parts of it, it's, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 feet wide. It's a big area, and I just didn't have enough materials to cover it up. Now this would be great if you're creating like a new 4x8 bed for vegetables next season or something like that. Start it in the late summer. Don't wait until fall when you don't have any grass clippings. Start it in the time of year when you do have green and brown materials. It's not the method's fault that it didn't work for me. It's my fault because I didn't work the method correctly. You might have had experience with the lasagna method that worked really well. Or maybe you are planning to try it and you're going to do a better job than I did. I hope that's the case. Now this morning we had some compost delivered and some mulch delivered, and so we were able to get this flower bed covered with compost, and so it looks so much better. We had 5 cubic yards of compost that is a mix of mushroom compost, or old mushroom soil from a mushroom farm, mixed with leaf grow, which is a local product that's made by one of the area counties around here from municipal leaf debris. When you put your leaves out to the street, they come and get them and they compost them in Montgomery County. So leaf grow mixed with mushroom compost is what we've put down here as the compost layer. Now in the area in here where I didn't have any cardboard yet, it was just still grass, I did go ahead and lay down cardboard. You can see it under there. And on top of the cardboard, I put about 6 inches of this compost material. Now over here on this side, where I did have pretty good chopped up leaves last year, I had already done the cardboard and the leaves and some green material. In this area, I really only spread it about 1 or 2 inches thick in this side. So it's thick here on top of new cardboard, and then as we go down this way toward the street, once again it thins out where we already had leaves here last year. Sorry for the lens flare. So in this area also, it's only about 1 inch or 2 thick. Now the other thing I did was I used my Half Moon spade to cut a new line for a border. And I used the same method that Jim Putnam used. I basically made a trench. This is the cut edge of the lawn. This, I need to go in and take some of this grass out and then trim back this cardboard a little bit so that it'll be a nice gentle curve down. But I got a new sawed edge trench all the way around across the front. We don't have compost spread further than this yet. And the new line goes all the way over to the front sidewalk. Now when we stand out here by the street, it looks a lot better. Oh my gosh. A nice gentle curve from the sidewalk up to the top of the flower bed here, and then a gentle curve around the corner and all the way over to the big cherry tree. I'm sorry for the harsh shadows. We're catching evening light here. Now we will be putting compost in all of the flower beds, a top dressing, 1 inch or so, maybe 1.5 inches in some areas, all the way through all of these front flower beds and on the other side as well. And depending on how much we have left over, we'll also use some in the flower beds in the backyard as well. But we did only order 5 cubic yards, and I think we've used up about 2, maybe 2.5 cubic yards so far, just in this area here. I'm completely in love with the way this flower bed looks. Oh, I'm just so excited. The Clayera here that are backing up the Sugar Tip Rose of Sharon, they look great with the new soil, don't they? And then the Weigela starting to leaf out. So that'll be having pink flowers here in a little while. I just love this corner with the stepping stones coming through. The new soft touch holly there looks great. I've rearranged some plants in this area to kind of make them situated a little bit better with the new edge of the border. And I can just envision the way this is going to look once this shrub border has been fully planted up and filled in. I'm really excited to see how it develops this summer. So that's it, just a short and sweet little video. I wanted to update you on the Lasagna Garden method that we did here and update you on the new compost that went down today, which dramatically changed for the better the way this whole border looks now. I'm excited for the rest of spring to come on. I'm excited to figure out what else I'm going to plant in here and get it in the ground. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to put them down in the comment section down below. Also, go ahead and hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I would love to have you here as a subscriber. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day in your garden, friends, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.